So I am recording the class today. It's not going to be public to anyone, so don't stress about that. It'll just be if we have customers that are interested in watching it back, then they'll have a link to it. All righty. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen quickly. All right. Okie dokie. So thank you, everyone. Oh, goodness me. Hang on. Now we're going straight back to the end of it. Just excuse me and my technological issues. So welcome to Team Sapphire's presentation of spring salads even. I haven't even changed that. Well done. Okay. Right along. It is sweet September this morning. We're going to show you all about the sugar stages of the TM6. So this is our team Sapphire. We are from the far south coast and snowy Monaro region of New South Wales. Currently we are all in lockdown, and I'm sure all of you are in various stages of that. So I'm sending everyone lots of love, and I hope that everyone is feeling okay at the moment. And hopefully we can bring you a little bit of joy this morning. So we have Vicki this morning showing us some honeycomb. This is Vicki's first time presenting. So everyone welcome Vicki. I'm very excited to have her here. She's from Bega. We also have, sorry. Oh my goodness, Lyndall. Don't mind me. Oh.
Don't worry, Lyndall. Remember me last night? We were going through similar things.
I know, and now I can't find my dang mouse to get to where I'm trying to go to.
Yeah, let us know in the chat where you're all zooming in from. We'd love to know where you are. We've got someone from Melbourne. Eden, hello, Abby.
Okay, hang on.
Bega.
I'm back.
There you go.
Look, I'm not going to worry about that for a moment. We also have, oh my goodness, we also have Sally from Marimbula who is going to be showing us some walnut brittle, and then Lynn Ashton from Lochiel. So she's going to be showing us the inside of some chocolate bonbons, which are chocolate hazelnut bonbons, which are a bit of a fancy one. So that's something to keep on your list to do. And I made some lollipops last night, so I'm going to show you those as well. But we're going to kick off with Vicki. So I'm going to just spotlight Vicki. Okie dokie. Spotlight, and I'll take myself off, and then if you can unmute yourself, Vicki, then we can get started. Oh. Yep. Oh no, now you had it right the first time. So you just there we go. Yes, it is. It is. I can't see your Thermomix though. Yeah, there we go. Perfect.
Oh my goodness.
And everyone's saying hi, Vicki. So welcome to Team Sapphire. She's been in Team Sapphire for a while now. However, this is Vicki's first time presenting, so everyone can make her feel welcome, and everyone's saying hello. So off you go, Vicki.
Hi everyone. Oh gosh, I forgot everything I was going to say now. But this morning I'm going to be making honeycomb in the Thermomix. It's really, really simple thing to do. You just need to work kind of fast because the honeycomb sets really quickly. So I'm just going to get started and show you what I'm doing this morning. I did make some the other day, so I thought I'd show you quickly how that turned out. So really simple recipe, because that was the first time I've ever made it and it worked out really well. I'm also not going to be making it with honey this morning because I'm allergic to honey. So I am actually going to make golden syrup, but you could also use rice malt syrup if you wanted to. Okay, so I'm going to get started cooking. And it's just got a little bit of information about the sugar process that, you know, to be prepared and work fast.
Yeah, so we might be looking back and forwards, guys, today just quickly because there is very much strict instructions on the sugar stages, which you need to follow to the T to make sure that that everything turns out well, also so that the sugar doesn't stick to your bowl. So if we're crossing back and forwards quickly, I do apologize, but as I said, we're going to be recording it. So if you would like to watch it back, if you feel like you need to rewatch it, then just give us a yell. But yeah, go ahead, Vicki. Thank you.
Yep, that's okay. So you do have to, like Lyndall said, get your ingredients right for this one. It does matter if you're a little bit too much over or under. So I'm going to try and measure as precisely as I can. So first thing you need to do is get your baking pan ready. It does say cake tin, but I can't find mine, so I'm just going to use this tray this morning. It's got the baking paper on there already. And all right, so it says to sift your 1 tablespoon of bicarb soda and set it 1 tablespoon, yes, I read that correctly. And set that aside. So I'm actually just going to get my tablespoon ready like that, and I have a sifter on the bench so I can sift it in quickly. I did that the other day and it worked out fine. And 300 grams of white sugar. Oops. So just try and go a little bit slowly towards the end so that you don't overpour like that.
All right, it's the first step. We can take some out.
I knew that was going to happen. Sorry, I'll just pour a bit out to, oh my goodness.
It's okay. It's always a bit
I have
nerve-wracking.
sugar all over my kitchen.
Your bench is white, so we can't see that. That's okay.
That's good. Yes.
So
Okay.
if you guys put in the chat while Vicki's doing that, what if have you used the sugar mode? Do you have a TM5 and you can't use the sugar mode because it is only on the TM6? Or have you seen the sugar mode before? Let me know in the chat, and if you have any questions, then pop them in there and I can answer them as we're cooking.
Okay, so we have 300 grams of white sugar exactly. We need 80 grams of water. I'm going to pour that a little bit more carefully because I can't fix that if I get it wrong. Okay, so I've got about 83 grams there, but that is not too bad. And 20 grams of honey or golden syrup. Oh, and that's already, well, 26 grams.
Perfect.
So that is close enough. And without my measuring cup, I'm going to pop the lid on. And then I'm going to start the sugar stage, which goes for 22 minutes.
All right, so while we're doing that, we're going to cross over to Sally. So thank you, Vicki. And we will do this one. And spotlight. There we go, Sal.
Hello, everyone. It's lovely to see all your faces. So I'm going to be making the walnut brittle. So I do enjoy making the sugar stage mode. I just think it's fascinating. So as I go, I'll be giving a few tips that I've learned along the way. Don't know if anyone has made any brittles or honeycombs before. I haven't seen anyone in the chat. So mention it in the chat if you've tried anything on the sugar mode yet. So I'm just going to tip my screen a little bit better so you can see. Okay, so I'm going into the walnut brittle. Again, memories really of my mum. She loves peanut brittle, and that was what we used to always go and buy at the sweet shop, which is the name of what we called it in the UK. Okay, so again, the main thing with sugar stages, we're working quickly. The main tips are to use the exact quantities and also the sugar that is recommended. So, okay, so I've decided to use the rose gold baking tray lined with one of the new mix oven liners. And this is where I'm going to be pouring on my brittle. So these can be, and Linda will explain a bit more about where you can buy these as well. So I'm just going to put that on my chair. Okay, so the first ingredient is 200 grams of walnuts. I've actually used as well some hazelnuts because we love hazelnuts in this household. So I've got a combination of walnuts and hazelnuts. And I'm just going to give those a very quick chop for literally 1 second. So I'm just going to chop those. And that's literally it. And now I'm going to pop those nuts onto my tray. I'm actually using my tiny kitchen at the moment, so I'm making do where you can see the walnuts on the tray, like so. There we go. Say to clean and dry the mixing bowl, but I've got a second bowl, so I'm going to be using that.
So how can everyone on today get a second bowl?
They can, I guess the best way is to see if you're interested in becoming a consultant, Lyndall. Would that be the way?
It is. You can earn a second bowl blade and lid if you become a consultant. If you're already sharing your friends, your Thermomix with your friends, then that is definitely an option for you. That's definitely the quickest, cheapest way to get it on the second bowl on your bench.
Right, thank you, Lyndall. Okay, so there's my chopped nuts. So I'm just going to pop those aside because once the brittle is made, I'm going to be pouring it over. Okay, so the next step is Demerara sugar. So again, for this walnut brittle, it's the type of sugar that is recommended, and what you basically get the best results is using that particular sugar in that recipe. So that's 250 grams of Demerara sugar. Now I have 70 grams of water. Pop that in. And 30 grams of cold and salted butter in one piece. I've just grabbed it out of my fridge because, as you know, it's quite hot down here today. So I've already pre-measured one piece of butter, which is approximately a 6 centimetre by 4 by 1, but that's my quantity in there. And 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. So I just thought I'd show you the tip you can use to measure lemon juice. I don't know if anyone's tried this before, but this is where I go to the 3 dots, scales. I've got my lemon squeezer, and I'm going to pop it into my measuring cup. Now, the measuring cup, actually, I'll show you in a minute too. Let's see if we've got enough coming through. 3 grams, 4 grams, 5 grams, 7 grams. A little bit too much now, but what I'll do is just pour a little bit of that out. Let's see how we go. 6 grams will be fine, 1 gram either way. So again, your measuring cup is a useful tool. You actually have a small, the very first line is a 50 ml. And the second one is 100, but that was a handy way to measure my lemon juice. So then I go back to the recipe, pop that in. And now this mode is using the splash guard. I don't know how many of you have used your splash guard yet, but again, this is going to be used for the toffee. So when it's bubbling, the air can't escape. So that goes on top. And now we've got the set time to 22 minutes, maximum temperature. So it's going to go up to 160. And you just turn the dial. It's got a little sugar mode there. Just turn the dial. And away it goes. So that's going to start what it's called caramelizing. And we're going to let it do its thing. And then when it's ready, that's when you move quickly. And the same with Vicki as well. We'll be sort of putting our hands up to Lyndall to say, let's go, and pour that toffee straight over the trays.
That's it. And so that's another point too, is about the TM6. So the TM5 only goes to 120 degrees. The TM6 goes to 160. So that's where we can do the high heat mode. So we can saute onions and meat and stuff, but we can also, yeah, get to that higher temperature so that we can use sugar mode. Okay, so now we're going to go on to Lynn. I'm just going to unspotlight here. So Lynn will explain what she's going to do today. There we go. Lynn will take herself off mute and then we'll get started. Perfect.
Hey everybody and welcome. Isn't the sugar stages a game changer? If you haven't used it, it'll make you just that little bit more fancy. And talking about fancy, the recipe that I'm going to do today is, or part of that recipe, are the chocolate bonbons that feature in our Creating Something Incredible cookbook. And that's the page. So the pink ones are a different recipe. They're on the next page. But the chocolate ones, the chocolate hazelnut ones, are the ones that I'm going to do today. Yesterday, I made the chocolate and popped it into our little 15-hole chocolate mold. You'll see that there's 6 there that are filled in and 6 that are shells that are waiting for their caramel filling, which is what I'm about to do. So that is, if you can see that, one of the bonbons completed. And this is one of the shells, like that, just waiting for the filling. So I might get the filling going and then we can talk some more about it later today. So again, when you open up the sugar stages, you do get to that information screen that tells you that you do need to be quite accurate when you weigh in your ingredients. This says 250 grams of caster sugar. Now I've actually, because caster sugar often gets a few lumps in it and I don't want lumps in my sugar, I just gave this a quick couple of seconds before we started so that I know that the lumps in there are fairly soft and will fall apart, okay? So just tell you again. And that will be because I've moved my Thermomix. We won't worry too much about that. Well, we hope we don't. I'll just get the cream out of the fridge, excuse me.
I'm just putting in the chat, I've just got the links to the products that we've used today in the mix shop. I've also got the links for the recipes as well, so that you can look those up if you'd like to.
Okay, so 70 grams of pouring cream. And a china bowl, which is just ad-libbing a little bit. 30 grams of water. A teaspoon of fresh squeezed lemon juice. So does anybody know why we put lemon juice in our caramels and so forth? Any ideas? Just type into chat. And 30 grams of butter. Now this doesn't say unsalted. You can use unsalted if you wish. Then we're going to put the lid on and the splash guard. Done. So now for 22 minutes, that's going to caramelize and be nice and hot. So away we go. So once that is cooked, we'll be able to set that aside to cool. I actually have a little bit that I did yesterday. In fact, this is from last week. I've got it in my piping bag. And you can see it doesn't set hard because it's caramel, not toffee. And I will just bring you down so that hopefully you can see. Just going to squeeze some of this in here. And I am not an elegant chef, Don't critique me, Sally Daly. I'm piping my coffee.
There we go. We've got an answer there, Lynn. Does it stop it from crystallizing, putting the lemon
That's
in?
exactly right.
Well done, Angie McGregor. Gold star.
So when you make things like golden syrup, store it with a piece of lemon in it, and it will stop it from caramelizing, because you're using a product that you've made yourself with all those ingredients.
I don't know.
So
Lynn,
the
they
reason why I'm
look
doing
pretty
this,
fancy to me. You look like you're doing a great job.
I won't tell you what it looks like.
I'm sure everyone can work that out for themselves, as long as it tastes good, right?
Yeah, oh, and it does. The reason why I'm piping this now and not waiting for the other is that I've got to wait quite a while for it to cool, because it will melt my chocolate if I put that in and it's too warm, and we don't want to be melting the cases. So what I will do now, or shortly, is melt the chocolate for the top to seal it off. Now, when you make the chocolate cupcakes, which is a whole different ball game, it's nothing to do with high heat, you will have chocolate left over, and when you're using couverture chocolate, which is very different to your cooking chocolate, you can now retemper this, scrape it off and reuse it. Thank goodness, because it's expensive and we don't want to waste it. So this can sit around until we next make these bonbons, and then we can retemper this chocolate in the Thermomix using a special seeding method. So I will put this back in my other Thermomix and melt that so that it can go on top of the others. Hopefully towards the end of the class, it'll be cool enough
To pop on. Beautiful. How long have you got, Vicki?
I have 10 minutes and 38 seconds left.
Okay, so Lynn, did you want to show us how you do the chocolate? Have you got time to do that now, or you don't have to? It's okay if you don't.
Yeah, no, I do, but I just hadn't quite got the.
That's okay. Look, I can have a chat if you'd like. That's totally fine.
No, I'll just bring this one over.
Okay, no worries. I just thought if we've got 10 minutes, I wasn't sure how long we'd have, but we're flying through. So.
Okay, whoops, I've just lost me ear. When we're, can you hear me okay?
I can, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe not now, actually.
Hang on.
Sorry.
Where that dropped.
Sorry, I put you on the spot there, Lynn. That's my fault.
That's all right. I'll just disconnect them and we can give me a tick. So the next step is red onion in our bowl. Oh, where did that come from? Because of the oil and some sumac.
So that's our recording from last week when we did our spring salads. Who came along to our spring salads class? A couple of you there? I can see hands up. Good work.
Just drove me insane on the way home because it was so fabulous.
That's all right, Lynn. Hang on, let me.
Going in there. Again, you could measure the 10 grams if that's how you prefer to go. And we're just going to.
It's right. Okay.
Are you there?
Yes, I can hear you now. There we go.
But I've got the salads class coming over.
Technology is brilliant, isn't it? We all love Zoom and we all love technology. Don't stress.
Okay, so when you're,
I've got to add half yellow capsicum.
I'm still
I'm
there.
still doing it.
I
How are you doing that?
can't find it.
Some extra virgin olive oil, which I have put in there.
No, it's not my computer either. No.
A nice dressing type olive oil instead of just the common garlic.
There we are. Got it.
Good
Shut
work.
up.
Well
Shut that
done.
old butt up. Good Lord.
There's nothing worse than hearing yourself back either. I've had to watch a couple of recordings lately and it's like, oh no, I don't want to hear myself.
Where's that coming from? Okay, so once again, when we're doing chocolate, it's really important to make sure that your bowl is super, super dry. If it's not dry, your chocolate will seize and it will look disgusting. And there's no way to go on and temper it. So you can still use it by adding a bit of cream and a bit of butter to it, but you won't be able to use it for the purpose that you originally wanted it. So I'm just going to take my jug apart and just make sure it's nice and dry under this green seal that comes off your blade. Like yay. Just make sure it's nice and dry in there. And then pop it back together. And the other tip is to dry inside. And I always use a paper towel rather than a tea towel because it is much more absorbent. And you can also spin your blade, so pop it on turbo for a half a second, and that flicks the water off to the side, and that will double check that your bowl is totally dry. Okay.
That's some great tips there, Lynn, because I know that's a lot of the frequently asked questions that I get.
Painful.
Why didn't it work? Yeah, absolutely. Clean bowl, 100%. Clean, dry bowl.
This chocolate, I'm going to pop.
And where do you get your Coverture chocolate from, Lynn?
Yeah, I get the dark chocolate from Costco because it's so cheap.
Perfect.
So if you know anybody with a Costco membership, make a buddy of them. The other stuff, you'll just have to search online because prices do vary. So, but there's no two ways about it. It's just an expensive item. It's not something that you'll use every day. So I've got 140 in there.
Has anyone been hitting the sweet treats during lockdown? I know I have.
What's your favourite, Lyndall?
Oh goodness, anything. At the moment, I don't have an oven. My husband, lovely of him, tried to make me a cake on my birthday and set the oven on fire. So anything that doesn't require baking at the moment.
Okay, so just for 3 minutes, I'm going to warm this chocolate to 50 degrees. And then what we're going to do is add the extra or remaining 25-30% of chocolate calates and stir those through with just a very, very low temperature or no temperature at all, actually. And that's what we call seeding the chocolate. So it just stirs and melts, and that should give you your nice glossy shine and also a very nice snap.
Absolutely, because tempering chocolate is not an easy thing to do, but once you have a Thermomix, easy, super easy. All right, so we've got some recommendations in the chat here for some sweet treats. A decadent chocolate brownie, also a 5-seed bar, which I think sounds like a much healthier option than what I've been eating, and Edna's lemon curd tea cake. And Pauline's made some caramel popcorn. So we actually have a fair few recommendations in there. That's definitely one of the things that I love about having a Thermomix team and working with all these lovely ladies is the recommendations and the inspiration that I get from my customers and from my team is second to none. I know we always have chats on our team chat. We might be at the end of the night and everyone's going, oh, what can we eat for dessert? And there'll be like upwards of 50 recommendations. And, we're all inspired all the time. So if that sounds like something fun for you, then please let us know. We'd love to have you along for the ride. We'd love to inspire you too. How are we going, Vicki?
I have 3 minutes.
Perfect. Okay. Do you know what? How are you going, Lynn? You're just heating it up now. Oh, you're just on mute. Sorry.
I'm on 1:45. I'm just going to scrape it down so that it stays down on the blades.
Beautiful.
It does tend to go up the sides a little bit.
I really like your tip that you can actually remelt the Kovac chocolate, because if you're spending money on something, you want to be able to make sure that you're not wasting it, which is great. Beautiful. All right, there we go. Fruity Dream for Joa and Lime. Okay, there you go. And some Rocky Road and Honeycomb there. Beautiful, lovely recommendations. All right, so I'm just going to remove the spotlight there. We've still got a couple of minutes with Vicki, but I won't talk for too long myself. I had a go at making some lollipops last night. Now, my son is 2.5 and he loves a lollipop. Now, I have done myself a disservice by making them because they're very sweet. And I was the silly mother that put the blue food coloring in them. So any of my friends that have children, they will be receiving a lollipop this afternoon. I put some sprinkles on them that you can see them there. I used our sphere molds as well. Super easy last night. I got these sticks from Big W. Big W are doing click and collect, everyone, just so you know. But they are really easy. And yes, you could obviously leave the food coloring out. It tastes like that old school toffee that people used to do in the patty pans. But there you go. So once again, less preservatives, still plenty of sugar, but less preservatives, especially if you leave out the food color, or you could use a natural food color and skip the sprinkles, obviously. But anyway, they look kind of fun. That's what I did last night. So all the links for those mix shop items are in the chat there, as well as the recipes. I haven't done the recipe for the lollipops, but I will do that while Vicki's doing her thing. How long have we got, Vicki?
A minute.
Perfect. Look at us flying through. I'll spotlight Vicki again. All righty.
Ashley wants to know if she gets a lollipop, Lyndall.
Do you know what, Ashley? I am actually coming to your street because I've got a friend who lives down the road and she's getting lollipops for her kids, so I'll drop you one.
Yay! Oh, it's fallen over.
You can still be a child at 20, can't you?
I think so. I think you can still be a child at 40.
Absolutely.
At any time. Okay, so I have 25 seconds left. I have prepared my bicarb soda. You just needed to sift the bicarb so there's no lumps. I have my spatula ready because I know that when I put the bicarb soda in, I'm going to have to mix really fast. But not too fast because we don't want to ruin what's already happened. So we're ready. Okay, so I'll pop the lid off, sprinkle the bicarb over the top, like so. And then I'm going to quickly stir that in, and you can't see it, but the bicarb makes it go really foamy, which makes all those lovely little holes that you get in bicarb. And now very quickly, you just pour that out onto the tray. And you can, I don't know if you can see, but it's already starting to set. So
you can see the foaminess in your bowl, which is, it's really impressive. Honeycomb's really cool. There's lots of, we actually have some suggestions in the PowerPoint that I'll show you again later of ways to use honeycomb, because it makes a lot.
It does. Like, I don't know how we're going to eat all this. But we are going to, because I did read in the tips, which tips come in the bottom of the recipes. The tips said they last to about up to about 5 days in a airtight container. So, but if you coat them in chocolate, they'll last longer.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm actually going to be doing that. Okay, so I've done that.
Yeah.
And quickly, I'm just going to quickly, you need to clean like ASAP because otherwise it's going to stick. So I'm just pouring in my water. Sorry, Lyndall, I interrupted you.
No, I was actually going to say that Vicki's going to very quickly clean her bowl. So that's.
And I did notice in the comments, somebody asked if you could use grape molasses, and I Googled it while everything else was happening, and yes, you can.
instead of the honey or the golden syrup. Is that right? Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think
50
it
grams of vinegar.
Perfect. Yeah, I'd stick with the white sugar, but I think, yeah, that honeycomb, I think we said if it was honey, then it was like a crunchy. Is that right, Sal? But if it was golden syrup, it was more like a violet crumble.
Yes,
So
correct.
if you guys have a preference, there's your little tip for that too. Perfect.
Okay, and we're off cleaning.
And then Pauline uses rice bran syrup. There you go. Perfect. So Vicki, did you want to hold up? Yes, beautiful. Lovely. Look at that.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Amazing. Very good. So Vicki's got that to have fun with. We've also got another recommendation, honeycomb in Rocky Road. That would be lovely. That would be really nice.
Yes, I saw there's a recipe on Cookie Do for that, so I was planning to try that too because we have a lot of honeycomb now.
Yep. So we've got lots of sweet treats to go around. Sal, how long have you got to go?
I have 2 minutes, 50 seconds left.
Beautiful. Okay, do you know what? I'm going to share my screen.
Lyndall, sorry, just before
yes.
you do that, I need to get this chocolate out of the bowl.
Go for it. Yes, please.
Show.
Yep, absolutely. Let me spotlight Lynn.
I don't want to come down quite that far. There we go on that. Okay, right. So I don't know if you can see in there how.
Oh, lovely. Nice and shiny.
So I've put my piping bag in a tall glass, like my husband likes his beer. And then I'll just scrape it out into the piping bag. And I'm going to let it cool just slightly before I pipe it onto those chocolates.
Beautiful. I've tagged those piping bags. They're disposable piping bags. They come in a set of 100. They're on the Mix Shop as well. Don't forget to select your favorite consultant or your consultant before you check out. But those links are there in the chat if you need them. So Lynn, do you have to let that cool or does that go straight on?
That's actually quite cool now.
Yeah, cool.
When you cut the tip off the piping bag, don't cut it into where you're going to be working. Otherwise you'll have complaints for people that lost one of those, that there'll be plastic in their chocolate.
Yeah, we don't do that.
Now I haven't got my nice clean molds, but I'm just going to fill these up with chocolate. Now these are the ones that I made yesterday, so I've removed them from the mold. Just going to fill those up. Sorry, Sally, are you okay?
1 minute.
Oh, there we go. Perfect. You've got 1 minute, Lynn.
Otherwise, you could spotlight the two of us and we can work together.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Do you know what? I'll do that now while we're. Thank you, Sally.
We can
both there just in case we run out of time. Can everyone see both the lovely Lynn and the beautiful Sally? Yes, great.
And then I'll put this on the top.
Oh yes, vanilla fudge, chocolate fudge. White chocolate fudge is definitely a favorite.
Okay.
Oh, Sally, you're getting a compliment on your smile.
I think it's because I'm wearing new lipstick from Rosie.
Oh, there you go.
The red one.
Okay.
All right.
Now with my palette knife.
Okay, I'm going to be working as well, side by side.
Oh, that's great. Look at that. Lynn's just made her chocolates nice and straight along the bottom there. Beautiful.
Sort of.
So what are you doing, Sal?
So I'm next about to pour my caramel over, but I'm just going to get all the tray ready, just so we can see what is happening. So again, I'm going to be working quickly and pouring over now all the toffee. I daren't do that because I'll probably spill it over the computer. We don't want that with 160 degrees of heat.
I have done that.
This over. And again, working quickly because you've got to remember that this will start setting. And now I'm just going to smooth this over the top, making sure the nuts are all coated. Making sure there's a nice smooth layer. Okay, so there's my brittle, which is going to take some time now to cool down, but when it does get to the cooling stage, that's when I can snap it off and either put it in an airtight jar, or also I could be putting it into little cellophane bags and gifting it to my neighbours. Tried to get them to come along today and say, I'll bring you some walnut brittle, but that's another idea I'll be doing.
Right. So Sally's going to do her quick clean now. Yes, we had in our spring salads class last week, we had someone ask for some gift recommendations for Christmas. Now that's another reason why we decided to do the brittle today, because that is an excellent gift to give away for Christmas. I did do that a couple of Christmases ago. I made a whole bunch of things, you know, spice rubs, and I did an almond brittle. I did some shortbread cookies. I did some brownies that I cut into Christmas tree shapes. So you can do all sorts of things, and honestly, people really appreciate that more than if you spend $1 million, you know, on a present. Those handmade gifts are really special, and those are something that you can definitely do in your TM5, your TM6. But yeah, obviously the sugar mode is just for the TM6. We had a question about that. Because it gets higher to a higher temperature, so 160 degrees versus 120 for the TM5. So that's one of the special things we have for the TM6. So while Sally's cleaning up here.
Lyndall, I was just going to showcase that this actually goes straight into the cleaning mode. So I don't know if everyone has seen all the different modes on the TM6, but this one goes straight into the vinegar clean, which is going to lift off those little toffee bits from the bowl. So it, as you can see here, it's got the selector, and it will go straight into that clean as well. So it's quite very, yeah, senses how sticky it's going to be. I can hear it now. It's actually, because of the toffee at the bottom, it will start to warm up as it heats up, and when it all comes to the extra end, it will be a clean, tidy bowl. So
it's pretty exciting. I mean, I know when I made the honeycomb the first time, it was like, oh my goodness, I'm never going to get this off my bowl. It's very scary, but it is fine. And the TM6 tells you what to do with the guided cooking. The sugar mode is only available in the guided cooking, so that you get it right and that you are doing that cleaning mode straight away. It's foolproof, so that you can just move through it quite easily. Now, so that's everything that we have for you today, but I will go back to hopefully my oh goodness, my my PowerPoint there. Can everyone see that?
Yep.
Yeah, on Vicky's beautiful face. So thank you, Vicki, for sharing today. Sally as well. Those are her Instagram and Facebook handles, as well as myself. I'm the team leader for Team Sapphire. So if you had any questions about joining our team, we would love to have you here. We are all the way up to Bateman's Bay and all the way across to Cooma. However, we actually can recruit anyone in New South Wales. So if you are anywhere in New South Wales and you would like to join our beautiful team, then we would love to have you along. And Lynn obviously showed us our beautiful bonbons, which, yeah, just a bit more advanced, but definitely, once again, something that you could absolutely use for gifts, or, you know, just a really fancy thing to do. Those were the things we did, as I said, they're in the chat with links to Cookie Do. If you have some more questions about Cookie Do, please pop them in the chat. I can help you out with those. The September offer. So on offer in September, we have the Meter Plus Barbecue Cookbook and Sliding Barbecue Skewers bundle. So you can add that onto a TM6 purchase for just $49, which is great value because the Meter Plus is actually worth $199. It is like the Thermomix of thermometers, meat thermometers. So you can, it's Wi-Fi connected to your phone, to an app, and it will tell you how long to cook meat for, how long to rest it for when it's ready. Once again, easy, well-cooked meat without even thinking about it, which I know for me is very handy. And the barbecue skewers also have a little gadget on the end, which means you can push off the meat from your skewer without using your fork and ending up with it all over the table as you do when you pull it off the skewer. As well as we were obviously talking about anyone who's wanting to join our team this month, you actually can earn yourself a copy of the, or you can get yourself a copy for free of the Creating Something Amazing cookbook. I'm sorry, Creating Something Incredible cookbook, which is our anniversary cookbook, which is a beautiful book. And that's the recipe that Lynn was cooking today is from that book. If you don't have a copy of that book and you don't want to join the team, you can buy it from the mix shop. But once again, add your consultant before you check out. But your business kit is available with that this month. If you do have friends that are interested, it's a really great job. It's something that we can continue to do during lockdown. So if you've got a little bit of extra time on your hands at the moment, please shoot me a message. I'd love to chat to you and talk you through it. If you've come here today as a host, I know there's a couple of hosts on here today. You are eligible for host rewards if you have 2 friends come along. If one of your friends purchases, you will get a free host reward. If you have someone, just people come along and we share the Thermomix with them, then you get a discount. So there's bread mats, there's heat-proof mat, as well as the thermo servers, which are only available as a host reward. We also have some more recommendations from, sorry, Diane, did you need something? Come off mute if you need to and interrupt me, that's fine. So we've got some recommendations here. The salted caramel shortbread, the caramel popcorn and the caramel sauce. All of these recipes are for the TM6 and they're for guided cooking with the sugar mode. So you can find all of those on Cookie Do. The hedgehog honeycomb slice. So these are just some inspiration for if you do make the honeycomb and you have a lot left over like Vicki does, you can use the hedgehog honeycomb slice. The bitter chocolate and orange liqueur tart with honeycomb dust, which looks very fancy, and the honeycomb butter as well, which would be amazing on pancakes as it's put there, but maybe even waffles. There's all sorts of things you could put honeycomb butter on, toast, I mean, you know, just anything. Peanut brittle as opposed to walnut brittle, but you could use any nuts as Sally did today with her hazelnuts and walnuts, and you can use peanuts, obviously any nuts that you would like. You could probably use seeds as well if you wanted, if there was nut allergies. So there you go. And then this, I'm trying to pronounce this, but Bing Tang Hulu or candied strawberry sticks. Mel from our team found these last night. And did you get to make them, Mel? I think I saw you on live on your channel doing that. They look amazing. I think I'm probably going to do those this afternoon because my son loves strawberries and that's probably better than his blue lollipop.
Yes, I have made them, Lyndall.
Yes, and did they go all right?
Yeah, so they are probably slightly healthier than your lollipop version.
Yeah. And you could use apple and stuff too. That would work.
Yeah, so I did actually do an apple.
Perfect. Beautiful. Saves buying it from Woolies, doesn't it? Or if you can't get to Woolies, no one wants to go to Woolies down here at the moment, you can make strawberry sticks, and strawberries are in season at the moment and they're beautiful. And the caramel custard, one of our other team members, Sarah, she bought the Thermomix for the caramel custard, so there you go. That was definitely on her list to do first, so give that one a shot too. It's a great recipe. Now we are doing a cook along next week on Friday night. We're going to be utilizing the meter. So if your ears pricked up when we were talking about the Meter Plus for the offer for this month, then please come along and watch us or cook along with us, and I'll show you how the meter works. The Korean barbecue pork and rice salad is actually a really great use for the Varoma as well. So if you don't use your Varoma often, come along next Friday at 5 p.m. I should have the link. I'll pop that in before we go as well. But thank you for joining us this morning, and we hope to see you again soon. If you guys put some really great suggestions for new classes that we could do. There was bread options. There was, I think there was a yogurt class as well suggested. So we'll get onto that. Obviously, we are all at home for a little bit longer down here on the far south coast. So I think why not? We'll keep going with our virtual offerings if you're enjoying them. But thank you for coming along. I'll just quickly see if I can find my my code for the next class that we have coming up, the cook along that we have coming up. Is there any other questions or anything that anyone wants to say? Do you guys want to show your dishes again? And I can take a photo. I might just spotlight you all so I can do that. Sorry, I haven't.
Lyndall.
Yes.
Jenny asked, can you explain the difference with the honeycomb and sugar that you mentioned before?
Oh, so using the different types of like golden syrup versus honey, is that what we were? Yeah.
No, actually, Lyndall, what I was asking, you mentioned that one tasted more like, I think you said violet crumble, and the
Yes.
other tasted something else. Can you just explain that again, please?
I can, yes. So there's you can either use honey, you can use golden syrup. Those are the two recommendations. We have talked about other things that you could do which would alter the taste slightly, but honey is like crunchy and golden syrup is like violet crumble.
Oh, thanks.
Okay.
Yep.
No worries. Okay, so ladies, if you would, I'm just going to spotlight myself to the three of you. So if you want to just hold up
Yum.
oh, hang on, let me just, and again, let's just make sure I've got that right. Beautiful. Thank you everyone for coming along. I'll just quickly check the chat, make sure I've got everyone's questions.
I've got a really basic question to ask Lynn. Then when you took out your blade before, you took off the green ring. Can you just take that? Can you just show that again, please? Because I made bread yesterday and I got caught under. I wasn't quite sure how to take the ring off. I know it's probably a really ignorant question to ask.
Never ignorant questions. We love questions.
Oh, I still can't.
People are off to do the brittle. Oh, hang on. Do you want me to? Sorry, I'll just remove everyone else's spotlight. Sorry, I was just reading through the chat. Don't mind me.
Okay.
Spotlight.
Thanks.
There you go. Can you see Lynn better now? Is that
Yeah,
better?
I can't hear her though.
Lynn, Lynn, you're just on mute. Sorry.
So the green seal that sits between the base of your blade
Right.
and into the bowl,
Okay.
that stops any liquid from seeping
Okay.
down. So you just slip that down and dry underneath it.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
And
You
also,
don't have to do it all the time. It's not going to help you with the dough you get stuck under here.
no.
There are some cleaning brushes in the mix shop that go under the blades. I'm
Okay.
not sure if they're in or out of stock. They're very popular. So you could get one of those to do it.
Okay, thanks.
I'll see if I can find. Are you talking about the blade cleaning brush?
Yeah.
I'll just.
There's two. There's green ones, and I go for the green one rather than the
Okay, green brush.
other white one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
let
like
me
that
just.
one.
Oh yeah, green handled bristle brush. Yeah.
And
I'll
also
just-
too, when I made my sourdough bread yesterday, which I thought was quite nice, my Thermomix moved a lot on the bench. Is that normal or?
Yeah.
It,
That's
okay.
why you never leave your Thermomix when you're kneading,
Mhm.
because it can get a little bit unbalanced.
Yeah.
One thing you can do is stop it and rearrange the dough in the
Okay.
bowl. But often it does get a little wobble up when you're doing it. So don't go too far away, because the last thing you want to do is come back and find your machine on the ground.
Mm, mhm.
If you do need to go away, Jenny, one of our branch manager, actually, Sally, had said the other day, you can put your Thermomix on the ground. If your cord's long enough, you can put it on the ground while it's kneading so it doesn't fall
Yeah.
off if you really do have to go away. I mean, kneading's not usually for too long, but I know for brioche it's about 10 minutes. So I guess that might be the only other reason.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Lyndall. Can't.
That's all right, no worries. And I've just put the tag for the link in the chat for the cleaning brush for you there too. It looks like it is in stock. So
Lovely, thank you.
oh, no worries. And don't forget to select Lynn before you check out if Lynn's your consultant. Very good. Thank you everyone for coming along. Any other questions? Make sure you, Jenny, did you use the clean dough mode? And then scrub before pulling apart. There's just another suggestion there for you, Jenny, in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
From Melissa. All righty. Well, thank you everyone for coming along. If you wanted to stay on and ask any questions, then please do. I've got plenty of time. Obviously, I only have to go for a drive and drop off some lollies to some of my friends who I'm sure will be very impressed with me for doing that to their children. Thanks, Brendan. Thanks for coming along.
Lyndall, how many lollies did you make?
There's 12. There's 12
okay.
of them. So yeah, I will. I've got a couple of friends that I'll drop them to. Archer can have one. That's fine. But not 12.
Have you got any spares?
Yeah, I do. Do you want one? I can drop
Oh,
one.
I've just got somebody in Bega who was on here might want one. Anyway, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to Bega this afternoon, so you just let me know. I'll drop them off. I'll drop one for Ashley with Vicki as well. But yes, Vicki and Sally and Lynn, thank you very much for presenting. You guys did a brilliant job, and under an hour, which is great. I think you guys did really well. Perfect. And everyone followed along okay. It wasn't too hard to keep up with us swapping from person to person. Good. That's good. All right. So I'm going to stop the recording here.